leather gloves, we're slapping in hams. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stems. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Stage Live.
Take off the caps.
Here at Strong Island TV Paradise Studios in beautiful downtown Massapequa, New York.
Never
and
been
on
said
Facebook,
before.
and on Facebook Live. We are back. Excited to be here. We have Mike Mulqueen's coming on, retired FDNY. And we also have retired
Mike.
FDNY.
Oh, okay.
He's right there. I introduced you outside. You
Oh,
didn't pay.
that's Michael Quill.
Way to prep before the show starts.
Yeah, way to pay attention.
Tony's. Already my favorite guest of the year.
Yeah, he brought cookies. John's happy.
Tony's.
And we got our Mary Kennedy, the most famous person we know in Hollywood. Mary Kennedy is calling it again.
How many
she's
times you watch her video when she went topless?
She was fully naked, and we're not going to talk about that again.
All right.
Because no, we talked
Well, I know
about
you
it the
just
last.
Watch
favorite
it.
videos.
We don't talk about
We
it.
just watch it. We don't talk.
We don't talk about it.
So
We just
Mary's
watch it.
calling in. I got a lot to talk about myself,
Well, you
obviously,
always-
every week.
Surprise.
You always do.
So let me start off with you guys, because I may take up 45 minutes here. Steve, anything going on? You want to talk about that show Friday night at all?
I'll let you talk about that show. That was a fun show.
We had a good time, good cause.
We had a good time for a good cause for the.
Do you know what the cause was?
Yeah, it's for the MEPM Fine Arts and Performance. Stay with me. Parents Association. FAPA.
Look
got
at,
it.
look at the cameras.
Nailed
not
it.
up at the
And we
screen.
had them
Nailed
on
it.
as a guest, Steve. Will you hear that?
I
name?
happen to be an actor, and I know this is called
What is it called?
not knowing what you're doing.
It's called acting like not knowing what you're doing.
First of all, they
FAPA.
liked me on that show because kindred spirits. We're all actors. I was talking to the director on stage, and they have a nice group of people that tries to support acting for the students. We shouldn't, like they said, we shouldn't put all the emphasis on football,
On sports.
on
And-
sports.
That's just
Pat,
a- yeah.
Pat played high school bocce, so these are things that we have to put more emphasis on the arts, and that's
And
what
it's
we
not
did.
only acting. They do broadcasting. They do the art, the drawing stuff. So they try to focus on those kids a little more.
Hey, I went broadcasting once. I took my sister fishing.
Hello. So and he thought of that all by himself.
I think he used that
I
once on
set
the
him up
show.
for that
Nah.
joke 3 days ago. He took 3 days to write that one.
No,
Right.
he
It was
used it
all-
on the show once
He's
before.
so quick.
No, he's very quick.
Oh, John,
And it was a great
Steve,
night,
you got
though.
anything else?
No,
That's it?
I didn't have a car for 2 weeks, and I'm excited because I just got it back today.
Uh-huh.
So for 2 weeks, I did what every 50-something-year-old man does to get around.
Stayed in the house.
I called
Hitchhiked?
my mother drove me.
Your mother drove you
That's
around?
right.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah, it gives us something to do,
Yeah. You want to talk about any in particular show or any
Oh,
in
yeah,
your
he'll
life?
talk about it.
So I was on that show Friday night also.
Hold on, you were? I'm kidding you, bro. I'm kidding
I
you.
thought you were serious.
I'm
I
kidding
thought you were serious.
you. No, I know you were.
No, I
It
was
would
on
have
the
to be
show.
You brought down the house.
I brought it down, baby. And at the conclusion of that show,
All
Yes.
full of himself.
at about 2,300 hours,
Yes.
I was named the player manager of the Laughter Saves Live softball team
It was announced.
by the
It was
president.
announced.
You're
It
gonna
was
be like Joe
announced.
Torre.
You gotta come through here.
I got to come through. So what we're gonna? Can I just briefly talk about what we're doing?
It was,
Well,
be-
you
it
know,
was
I don't spend
between.
too much time on this, but who do we have so far that can catch a ball and swing
Right,
a bat?
so
He beat
far-
out Walter Matthau.
So far, I got a couple of comics. We got John Butera, Mark Breyer,
Right.
interested. I
Right.
got a
Two comics that
one-
need runners
one of
off
our,
the bat
one of our
already.
guests, one of our guests,
Comics.
Gina. I can't remember her name.
Gina's gonna play.
the one that was from the families. Yes, rescuing families.
She's gonna play?
She's gonna play.
All right. Good. I like
I
that.
can't remember her name right now. It's the
Gina.
show
Gina
business.
Cantone, is
Yes,
it?
I'm a camera shot like Cindy Brady when she sees the
Yeah.
red light.
In fact, I spoke about them this morning on Joe Piscopo.
Yes,
I
heard,
brought them
and
up.
I just heard that. I'm all a lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were
that
on Joe
group
Piscopo.
coming
I
from
didn't get a chance to
Portugal?
listen to it yet. I
So
was
here's the
working.
thing.
I
Appreciate
was,
it.
work-
Latin
I was
America.
working.
Appreciate it.
Big group of
So
people.
anyway, here's what we're gonna do. The first nice
10,000.
day in March,
Yes.
when we think we have
What's it
good
called?
weather on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse
When
me.
we think we have a good day in March.
Oh, I was just asking the captain. We actually
No,
got.
please interrupt further.
Yeah. No. John's got some.
Well, no, don't we?
Subtly interrupting wasn't good enough. take over my segment.
Oh, I'm sorry. No,
Yeah.
this is adding to the segment. Don't we have two
Yes.
crack infielders
Yes.
from the Portuguese immigrants that are flooding the border?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
But second base is taken. That's my position. But we are looking for the rest of the
I
infield.
think
the
the
outfield.
way that you move on the field, and I don't want to insult you, all right?
big for a
Second
second
base
base.
is my
Don't
spot.
take this as an
But you're
insult.
big for a second base.
Excuse me. Can I just say, I don't want to insult. You know
that's
how he
where
gets
I've always
angry.
played.
He gets angry.
you
I
know.
know you've always played there, but
Sometimes
you're a little
shortstop and
older.
right.
The way that you move on the field,
The whole team is old.
can I tell you my thought?
Go ahead, please.
Because you're the coach. You can play second. I'm only judging.
You're playing
the way
second.
that you move on the field, I think you should be on the bench. That's just
Who's playing first base? Danny
DH.
DeVito?
All right, let me explain this.
No, you play second. All right,
All right.
no, listen.
You can
I'm just
play
kidding.
first.
I'm just
You can play
kidding
first.
you.
So the first Saturday in the first night, Saturday, Sunday, when we think the weather's decent, we'll put
Yeah.
a practice together somewhere on the South Shore, probably near
Very
your
nice.
house.
Very nice.
And just one other thing.
Uh-oh. No comics who are not on a team can show up. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not at all. We want as
And
many
expect
people.
to play.
We want as many people as we can. Worst case, we have enough people for 2 teams, and we play a scrimmage.
We won't have enough people. 2 teams.
Now, I am wearing number 34.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you know?
What would be your number if you
this-
played?
No. Do you know
Oh.
the significance of the number 34?
Yes, Jerry Kuzmin.
No, he wasn't. He was 36. Cool.
No. As far as in
Herschel
base-
Walker.
I haven't finished the question.
Noah Syndergaard.
Yes.
It's Noah Syndergaard, but in the lore of baseball managers in pop culture,
Yes.
who won number
Casey
34?
Stengel.
Walter
No,
Matthau.
He was 37.
Walter Matthau.
37.
And he was retired. You should know that. You're a Met fan.
Wait, hold,
Oh my God,
hold on.
this
I don't know
guy's
if you
worse
see
than
what's
Mets
going on
history.
here.
Bob Apatow.
Tonight's theme for Steve is Walter Matthau. He threw it out.
I think
4
it was
different
Marty
times already.
Cornejo.
See,
with
folks,
the-
when a joke bombs, when a joke bombs, it's especially on my end, it's clearly because no one heard it. So I have to say it a second time.
No, you keep the punchline and throw it in different places,
Right.
hoping that.
By the way, can we build up some confidence wins by maybe we could take on the residents from Pat's Assisted Living?
yeah, if we could get that.
So I'm gonna tell you what the 34 is from. Because you guys
You
aren't-
do
you're
that,
never
and we
gonna
can
get-
move. We can move forward then.
Lou from Major League and Major League 2, the manager. You
guys
guys
really?
are always making excuses.
Well, you're the manager.
Number 34.
You're the manager.
All right, so get into
So
the
you're
most
a big
important
guy.
thing. What's going to be? It's going to laugh to save lives. Naturally, it's going to be red. The uniforms are going to be
I'm
red.
wearing all my baseball stuff is Mickey. I'll be wearing.
No,
Mickey.
but I think you should get a uniform. I think
We don't
you
have
should-
uniform.
Gray uniform. Listen,
No, you're right.
gray uniforms. Laugh to Saves
Red.
Lives
I
logo.
like it.
Do it right. Laugh
like
to Saves
it.
Lives.
We don't even know if people are going to show up to play. We
But
can't
you
order
still have to
uniforms.
do it right.
We could play against city teams. We could play against
Get it.
Broadway.
Listen.
Broadway. We could play against the city club.
Listen,
we'll
we
crush
might not be a
Broadway.
winner, but we can look like a winner.
Right.
All right. So anyway,
So we'll play
so
your
what is the
charge.
manager?
So let me get this straight. You're the second baseman?
and
I'm
the
the
manager.
second baseman.
Who's the first baseman? Danny DeVito?
First base. You can play first.
Are you
You're
going
already to my left.
play with us?
I'm
this week?
much taller
My
than
instinct
Danny
is to
DeVito.
throw
Are you gonna play?
Is
Are
to
you
throw
gonna
a
I gotta
ball
see
you
how
right
many
now.
games
So
I'm
there you
in.
go.
I
You're right
haven't hit a
there.
I'm
ball in a long
arthritic.
time, you know.
That's right. We got Mark Pryor.
I'm
playing.
arthritic,
And you
folks.
can't break my leg
Mark
again. He hit
Pryor
me
was-
with a ball.
I hit him
ball.
with a clincher.
A clincher. Oh
in
yeah,
the
by the way.
ankle, and he
Mark Pryor
complained
is a
for
good
6
ball
months.
We're using a clincher. He almost broke my leg.
Clincher with a clincher.
I called him up and I said, my leg isn't broken. If you want to break it, you got to hit the ball harder. We're going to play with the clincher so it's safe.
All right, let's move away from this.
Actually,
softball.
John, you were a pitcher, so don't think he's not an
I was an
outfielder.
outfielder.
No, he's a
too.
catcher.
I was a pitcher outfielder.
In the
were a
firehouse, he was a catcher.
Take
He was a
it
pitcher.
easy. PG.
He was a pitcher.
PG.
Didn't you bean Honus Wagner?
All right, I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to bring you into
go
it.
ahead,
I'm going to bring
talk.
you into it.
No, you can
I'm
talk.
very
I don't
excited.
understand
Very
anyway.
excited.
I don't understand.
The first thing I wanted to just talk about is do you say, see, you're very closed about a lot of times about that you were a fireman. You don't come up to somebody in the conversation unless it's really pulled from you. In my experience, you say you're a fireman.
I
right?
love talking about it. I always have. I don't know if it comes up in conversation.
I'm talking about the average Joe.
When he goes out to a nightclub, he brings the.
Yeah, I mean,
hose
when I
with
was
him on
when
the
I was
axe.
young and single, I couldn't tell the ladies. Well, I'm still single, but
That was the first thing you tell?
I was.
You're still dreaming
Yeah.
about that first girl you were.
Well,
talking
what
about?
I'm getting at is this is a nice story. I was in Virginia, 6-hour drive in the rain.
Oh, this is a good story. Let me
6-hour
tell
drive in the rain. It's a nice story. 6-hour drive, trucks, rain, get there. It's 10 o'clock at night. I go to the Outback to eat. And they're closing at 10. I thought they closed at 11. So I get in there at 5 to 10. I apologize. I go, I'll get it to go. And the kid behind the bar says, no, it takes us a while. 25-year-old kid. I sit down. I'm eating. It comes up that I was a fireman. He asked me questions about 9/11. And 25 years old, so sincere, says, I really respect what you guys did. I really, and just so sincere. So I go to leave and I go, bro, let me have the check. And he goes, sir, it's on me. 25 years old. Sir, it's on me.
A good kid.
You're a
And
good
the kid just got fired, I heard.
No, and this is where now my new thing is I'm a big tipper now. This is my new thing, right? We're talking about writing this as a joke.
Cash is king.
And I'm thinking I can be a big tipper and it won't cost me a lot because I can go into the deli. Who tips in the deli? Nobody. I drop
I tip in
$2.
the deli.
You don't. All right, maybe some
Bagel
people
shop
do.
in the morning, I go in there and get a couple of dollars
Let
after
me
I
finish
order.
the joke. You're supposed to say nobody tips in the deli.
Oh, nobody tips in the deli.
So you drop $2. You look like a champ. It only cost me $2. So I dropped the kid $10, and I look like a champ.
wait a minute, you dropped the $10 at the Outback?
Yeah.
So if the bill was like $30, $40,
What do you think I
you
ate?
should have given him at least $25.
What do you think I ate?
I'll be wearing my helmet to
What,
Panera tomorrow.
Did you hear Steve Sharippa talking about tipping the baby?
No. Let me go to Joe Piscopo's show today because we only got a few minutes here.
Skipped over that.
Let me go to Joe Piscopo's show today.
You were on Joe Piscopo's
I
show
was on
today.
Joe Piscopo.
I heard it on the radio.
A gentleman, nice man, big supporter of Laughter Saves Lives.
9:70 a.m.
The answer.
Had a ball.
Before you get into that,
There's the picture.
Yeah.
We have a
before you get into that,
That's about the
and this is not a joke, but
Audience
before you get
can't
into
see
that,
it.
Yep.
it's so weird. Sunday night,
Yep.
there was nothing on TV.
Yep.
Not that it was nothing, but I caught on Amazon Prime the Joe Piscopo at Piscopo's place when he had it in Atlantic City. I didn't realize how many musical instruments he played and how talented.
He's a singer.
Yeah, he does a lot
He's
of
a singer. Does
Joe
he play
Piscopo.
musical instruments?
Oh, Piscopo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
thought
played
he
the
just sang.
flute.
Oh, I didn't
He was
know that.
playing the piano.
Bobby, let's see some of those pictures from this morning's show.
There we
There's
go.
me with Joe.
Oh.
He asked me for a T-shirt. I gave him a long sleeve shirt. I think I gave him Frank Fiella's shirt by
I
accident.
think he gave him my shirt too.
I know. I got your 3X in the car.
Did you get my
What
jacket?
I got to tell everybody
No.
my size for?
There's another nice picture with Joe. Now here's Bernie Carrick. I met Bernie in the green room. Very nice to me.
What's so nice about him?
And here's another picture of me and Joe on the set.
That's a nice
where is-
picture.
where did you have to go
Should
for
be
that?
Nice picture.
that should be
You gotta
your
go to
profile
Hackensack?
picture.
Now,
Hackensack.
before you show the next picture, St. Albans Veterans Hospital. We did a big show on Friday. We did a big show on Saturday. And you know these shows are exciting and fun. But you guys have both done, all three have done the Veterans Hospital at St. Albans and
I've done
Sunday.
it 3 times.
And to go from Saturday night,
Right?
275 people going crazy, to wheeling down the vets, them sitting there and giving you nothing. For a comic, it's tough to do. I have to tell you something. Peter Bales and Peaches came there, and Art Lynn came there too. In fact, we left him there because he belonged.
Hey, Peter
but-
Bales and Peaches, that's a nice act there.
They did a great job, but Peter turned it into a whole, you know how Peter, history, like they were asking him questions about history, and
Yeah.
it turned into a beautiful exchange between Peter and the guys. And
He's a good guy. He's a
yeah,
really good
after the
He's
whole
very
weekend,
unique in that way. He could do that.
yeah, after the whole weekend, just to sit there and listen to Peter with these guys, we were there an extra 20 minutes just hanging out. They
probably love it.
Was the FU guy ever
And they were
there?
probably
No,
thankful
but,
that you didn't perform,
but
right?
I didn't have the help I had for the Christmas show, so I had to hire a roadie. Can we see that next picture? So guess who showed up?
That's your father.
It would be nice
There's
if you
my
would've
dad.
blew it
There's
up a
my
little bit,
dad.
you know,
He's
but is
lifting
it
equipment. I had him pushing things.
nice that you do that to you.
Put him to
Hey,
work.
You know, you want to work. Here's another
him to
picture.
work.
Here's the picture that we show at the end with all the guys, Peaches, Peter, Art. Thank you guys for coming down.
Oh, chill.
The guys, I just said Art.
Art Schill
said
blended
Art
right
Oh,
in there.
Lynn, that's the other guy.
I thought he
Art
had a
Schill.
Chinese guy.
No,
Art
Art
blends
Schill.
right in because Art was in the military.
Yeah.
He was on the North.
He did a nice job. Art, he told 40 jokes right from page 1 to 40 of the joke.
No, but Art was in the military. He was North.
I know that.
Not
I know
South.
that. I know that.
He was
so
in MASH.
let's throw up shows that are coming up.
So you got a free meal at Outback for wearing your fire shirt?
I didn't wear. Yeah, I guess so. Let's show the show that we don't. That flyer is in ours.
I'll be wearing my helmet to Panera
Here we go.
tomorrow.
Treehouse Comedy. Laughter Saves Lives on tour. Our
What
new
the first
product. Cops, Firemen, Military Comics. On this show, we have John Consoli, the Marines, NYPD Frank, FDNY Oliva, and LaRocchia. It's going to be a great night.
I still get a kick
We're
out of
raising money. We're working with Westport Fire Department. Next show, Monmouth County, EMS, Love to Laugh. On that show is Joseph Anthony, John LaRocchia. We added John Santo, Peaches Rodriguez, and Frank Fiala. Good show.
Nice.
The big one,
What part of
Monmouth County. The big one, FDNY. Fight Up for a Cause. Mike, we're working with Dominique. Mike will talk about Dominique.
That's a fun show.
Ray Pfeiffer Foundation, FDNY Family Transport, Laughter Saves Lives, American Lung, Missing One. We're going to have a great night that night. Sandy
Pfeiffer?
Els, how do you...
Ellers.
Ellers. John Consoli's also on that, Steve Oliva, and We're in negotiations with a big act to close this show.
You can
I
settle it
cannot
with me now.
divulge
You
it.
guys can settle it with me now.
I cannot divulge it.
Bobcat Goldthwait?
No. So that's that. We're expecting our caller to call in, Mary Kennedy, right now, about 8:15. So, Bobby, if that call comes through,
And it's coming all the way from California.
from California.
California.
So I'll talk a little more about then one or two more things. I was rear-ended. Quiet. I was rear-ended.
Was that at Rikers Island? And when you did that little stint at
Driving.
Rikers
It's called a prostate check, John.
Driving from Alexandria. Oh, here comes Mary now. So I'll tell you that story later.
You were really?
Yeah, I'll tell you that story later. Mary, are you there?
I am here.
Mary Kennedy is back. Mary, you are
Hello,
our
my
first.
friend.
You are our first guest two-time caller.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be like Letterman.
that's-
You get the most
I love
appearances,
that.
you know.
that's the kind of show that we have. And Mary, you are, remember, the most famous person we know in Hollywood.
Well, you gotta tell everybody why.
Because she had a
Why-
nude scene.
No.
Stop talking about
I tell
it
you, Mary,
and just watch it.
These guys are fixated that, you had a news scene on TV. Mary made a lot of money.
Because she did a good job.
She did a great job.
Mary, I was focused on your exquisite acting ability. These guys are creeps.
Listen, Mary, I'm only kidding,
Yeah.
but Mary, we're gonna let you
Yeah.
talk. But Mary, in the John's screenplay, Laugh to Saves Live. What do you call your screenplay? What's it?
Thank you for sharing.
No, just
Time to laugh.
A Time to Laugh.
Again.
John's gonna do a nude scene in that, so don't worry, you'll be able to get that back.
In fact, Mary, to get into character, at every writing session, I'm going to be nude also.
See, that's the way to do it. That's how to get into character. That's how I did it.
So, Mary, what's hot out there? What's going on with your career and with anything that's going on? You're like our Hollywood reporter.
Okay, well, I'm sure all of you guys saw the strike happened
Yes.
last week, right?
Yes.
Well, it ended last week. The teachers were out for a week, LAUSD teachers, and they came back. They've been in school about a week now, and it was really incredible to watch because there was tons of people around, our city hall, and a lot of people came out for education, a lot of stars and teachers and parents, and I was on the line every single day with the teachers saying, they deserve better pay and smaller classrooms, and we need nurses and counselors and psychologists on our campuses. So, and they got pretty much all they wanted.
Oh, wow.
So, and it rained, and it never rains in LA, and we were in the rain for 4 days.
Oh, shoot.
What were they striking for?
Well, she just said some of the issues. I was just going to ask you that. What was the main issue? It sounds like you got everything you want. Was there one issue that was really, really important to you guys?
Well, I think here's the thing. I think classroom sizes are super important to us. I don't think we're going to see movement on that as fast as they would like. But another necessity, and as you guys know, as first responders and firemen and all that stuff, we need a nurse full-time. It's ludicrous to me that there wasn't nurses full-time on our elementary school campuses.
What did you have?
And now, yeah, no.
Doctors.
And you have to, and the schools have to pay, out of pocket to get that staff there. I mean, it's not readily available through LAUSD. Now it will be.
I thought
Well,
there was
isn't it-
always nurses in
Always
school.
a nurse.
In New York there is, right?
Always.
Yeah, but it's no. And listen, by the way, we are the second largest school district. New York is the first. And so now we're in a situation where we can have nurses full-time on the campuses.
Good.
And I think listen, there's people, a lot of us are trained in CPR and all that stuff, so, the kids are safe. But I think, to take that course load and have a nurse there, not to mention eye exams for kids that don't have insurance or dental exams for kids who don't have insurance. I mean, I think it's fundamental to have a nurse there every day.
I agree.
Mary, can I ask you a question?
Excuse me.
Don't you think that CPR should be taught at every high school in the country? Don't you think like basic
Yes.
life-saving first aid should be in the high school curriculum, like maybe at the senior level across the country? Wouldn't that be great?
I agree.
That could be like
Yep.
replaced like a day or two at gym.
Whatever, even
Yeah.
if just a course like of basic, whatever.
I agree.
They should
And
have that.
a
I
life
think.
hack.
And a life vac in every school.
Mary, in Boston, do they have a nurse? Because you grew up in Boston. I know your family still lives there and you go back and forth. Do they have a nurse in the schools in Boston?
Yeah, all the time.
Huh?
So it's interesting to me to be out in California. Maybe it's the sun. Maybe it's the vitamin D, and they didn't think the kids needed it as much. But I mean, yeah, I really think so. I mean, and we did. We had nurses. Yeah, listen, I had to weigh in once a week. It was like Weight Watchers. So, you know, they had the nurse there every day. So from what I remember, you know, if I didn't want to go to PE, I would sleep in the nurse's office.
Right.
I can't believe that.
All right, so I'm glad that's settled. Tell us about your acting/comedy career. What do you have coming up? You have any parts? I know you're going on a ton of auditions.
I'm going on a ton of auditions. It's an early plug, but I want to do it.
Go.
So people can tell their friends in LA. I am headlining the Mother's Day show in the Yoo-Hoo Room at Flappers on May 12th at 5 o'clock. So look out for it because I'm working on my hour. I'm doing an hour of material. God bless me.
Wow.
So that's May 12th, and then I have a movie coming out called Layover in the spring, and I play a mom, and it's just voiceover. I did 6 pages of dialogue. All you hear is my beautiful Boston voice.
Beautiful.
And then, and then you can always see me recur on Conan as a sketch actress.
That's right.
And as a sketch actress. And then on February 11th, I'm going to be on People Magazine Investigates. I can't tell you what it is, but it's pretty gory.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
A cliffhanger.
I don't mean to brag for my buddies, but Steve Oliva did an hour the other night, 10 minutes of comedy, and he danced for 50 minutes. But it was still an hour. Mary, I'm glad you laughed because Steve's not laughing.
Professionally speaking, Mary, you do what you got to do, right?
I didn't know he could.
February 18th. February 18th is People Magazine Investigates.
All right. Well, awesome.
Wasn't Mary in the studio with us once?
No, Mary was not.
Nope.
No,
Not yet.
but she will be when she comes up, right?
Well, yeah, give me a spot. I'll come. You know,
Yeah,
I'll
he
come
does,
to New York for
well,
anything.
Paid airfare. He put you up in a hotel. Big
Well,
time
you know
to get
what?
on this
Do you
show.
know Allegra Barnett? Mary, you know Allegra Barnett?
Yes.
All right, so she emailed me yesterday. She says, I'm going to be up this week, and I happen to have a show, so I hope you'll do the same like we did the last time.
We're out.
We're out. Wherever we are, we're over and up.
You gotta always not.
Over and out. But here's the deal. I'm coming hopefully to New York in April, so I will call you.
Okay,
Maybe
but
I can be on
You
the
might
show.
not catch John because we'll be in Florida in April.
not the whole month.
Okay.
We may be.
They're
All right, Mary.
out there, we're over here.
All right.
That's how it goes.
Mary, thank you so much for taking the
My
time
pleasure.
and
Yeah.
calling in again. You're one of our favorite Hollywood people.
We hope to see you out there soon.
Thanks, Mary.
Yes.
We go to LA.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Good luck.
Mary.
Bye, Mary.
USC teachers. Bye-bye.
Mary
luck,
Kennedy,
Mary.
man. How about
Bye.
we go to our Life Vac commercial, and then we'll bring Mike out. You can stay here. Let's bring Mike out over here. Come on, Mike. Life Vac, and then we'll bring Mike out.
Please listen. This is a LifeVac. It's easy to use and can save a life in an airway emergency. LifeVac is proven to save lives, and it's as simple as place, push, pull. I've had one in my kitchen and one in my car for years, and you should have one in yours. Choking is a leading cause of death. 5,000 people a year die from choking, one child every 5 days, and it can happen in just 4 minutes. There's no time to wait. If you have children in your home, please consider your LifeVac today.
Can I finish that book? And we're back. Here we go. Mike Mulqueen, retired FDNY. He retired as a captain. How are you, Cap?
I'm doing good, hanging in there.
You know, no matter where I go in the country, if I always give respect, whether it's volley, paid, you earned that, Chief, Cap, and he earned it. And he's a very interesting and dedicated man. As my buddy over here, Steve Oliva was an awesome firefighter, and it's a pleasure to have them both here tonight at
And
the
a
same
great
time.
actor, Steve is too.
I just wanted to. I'm just talking about.
Oh, the paid,
yeah,
right.
the
Right,
paid.
the paid, not the volunteers. Right.
Well, you're in a different class.
I forgot the fly
You're
is
in a
cool
different
when you're a
class.
paid
No,
fire.
it's not. But you
Volunteer.
volunteered your own time, and there's something to be said for that.
That's true.
Just like you volunteered.
Just let me finish my rear end story. Let me finish my rear end story.
Oh, the rear end.
So I'm going. It's bumper to bumper traffic, not bumper to bumper, moving. like just moving, rolling.
Well, he's
I
got
don't
info.
know, 20 miles an hour, and I'm on the phone with Butch.
Mm-hmm.
Not no, hold on.
Starting to make sense now.
Hold on.
Why you gotta blame
Hold on.
everything on Butch for?
Hold
Leave him
on,
alone.
because it's easy. Hold
Leave
on.
him alone.
Hold on. And all of a sudden, like this, boom, boom. I look at my rearview mirror, and there's nobody driving the car.
What?
There is nobody driving the car.
It's one of those
Driving
automatic
the
No,
car.
I said nobody driving the car. All of a sudden, a head pops up like this, right? And I look, and I think, was this guy just rear-ended? And he hit me? So I go, and now it's the kind of hit where you're like,
Like the head came up from the passenger
the
seat
kind
or
of thing was, no, one guy there. It was like the kind of hit where you go, I could have damage.
Right.
Maybe I don't, I hope. It's a rental, but I could. So I go like this, pull over, but there's nowhere to pull over. It's all like construction. 2 miles down the road, we pull over. He gets out of the car, beautiful car. And I go, bro, did somebody hit you? And he goes, no, I dropped my phone.
Was it the waiter from the Outback?
Dropped your phone.
It was not.
He dropped
He
his phone.
dropped his phone.
So instead of taking care of the primary responsibility, which is
Of
the
driving,
safe operation of the vehicle,
he hit
this
me.
moron goes for the phone.
Yep, no damage. I was so tired because I've been running around. I took a picture of his license, took a picture of the license plate. I go, if I need you, I didn't take his phone number. If I need you, I know where to find you. And I just said,
Well, you're not-
let's
you're
get
not-
out of here.
you're
Same
not-
thing
you're
happened
not
to
doing
Mike
it right.
Mulqueen, let's hear it for
Yeah,
Captain
Mike
Mulqueen.
Mulqueen, all right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome,
A pleasure.
Captain.
What do you got? Slippery chair? I think you keep going back and
sorry.
forth. Yeah.
Mike, I
Yeah.
can't tell you how
Making
many,
him nervous,
I
creepo.
can't tell you how many guests come on at the second half, sit in that chair and watch the mess of the first half of the show and say they have to go to the men's room and never come back. You are a brave
I can
man.
understand that.
Is he not a brave man?
He's
gone-
brave,
He's
man.
a fireman, of course he's brave.
I'm
course
saying
he's brave.
he's gone in fires, but he still came
But,
out here.
Not every fireman's brave. We got John over here, so.
Well, there's always an exception. So, tell us about your
You're brave.
career as a firefighter. What did you do? You had an interesting career before a firefighter a little bit. You worked for the DEC, from what I remember.
Yeah,
Not too-
firefighting was like my fourth career.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's not abnormal,
No.
right? What were you before? You were a florist, right?
I was not a florist. How dare you? I was a waiter at the Outback.
So, yeah,
Free meals?
tell us about your pre-FDNY career in a nutshell.
My pre-FDNY
Yeah.
career, I was a New York City school teacher.
Were you? I didn't know
7.5
that.
years,
Were
yes.
there,
Seven and a half.
were there
You know-
nurses in there?
There were nurses, and the New York City school teachers wore red in solidarity with the LA teachers while they were striking.
Oh, did they? I didn't know
Yes.
that. Very nice.
My wife's a school teacher, and
Now, why did they pick the color red?
I have no idea, but that's what
But
they
they
wore.
all just, I
until
guess,
it was
any
cool.
color, just to show solidarity.
Did you wear
Very
red
nice.
too?
I did.
Okay.
Very
did.
nice. Now, did that's a personal question. I was going to say, does that tie onto your pension too when you were a teacher?
It did.
You're a city
That's
teacher?
the same
Yes.
thing.
Then I said, is that too personal? All right,
Yeah,
so
it was a little person.
it was a little personal.
I actually wore a shirt with black and white stripes the other day because the employees at Foot Locker are protesting as well.
All right, so after you teach, what did you do?
After I was a teacher, I became an engineering geologist.
An engineering geologist?
Engineering
Wow,
geologist.
you're
bright
over-
man.
you're
He is. He's a
qualified.
bright man.
And then I became a.
Airline pilot for a while?
No, when I
I
worked,
was a hydrogeologist.
see, when I worked with him, yes,
Hydrogeologist?
All right,
when I
yeah.
worked with him, I had a nickname, Stupid. That was my nickname.
But how many guys in the fire department said, Captain, you're overqualified for this job?
A few people said, but you
people,
know
yeah.
what? There's definite perks to being a fireman. You know.
Yeah, sure.
You were his captain?
No. I was a fireman with John.
No, because
Did
he
you
had the
see,
nerve
did
to
you
call
see the way he
stupid,
said
I'm
that?
saying, yeah.
He was very
No.
relieved.
No.
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 Oh my God, no.
I'd like to get your captain in here as a guest one day.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
Didn't you have...
Because they kept quitting. They kept leaving.
Yeah, we had him for a short time, but we had him when we did the gala, but
They
we
kept
we need to
transferring
get
to Staten
we,
Island.
Oh, Captain Bocci.
yeah, we
Yeah,
should
Captain Bocci.
Yeah, I had Captain
Good man.
Bocci, yeah.
All right, so you did all this intelligent stuff here, the Neo whatever. And
So
then
intelligent he can't remember it.
How did you get a job with the DEC? What did you do there? You did.
I was an engineering geologist with the DEC, cleaning up hazardous waste sites and the largest oil spill in the country. you
Which
know.
was
Exxon Valdez?
No, Mobile
No.
Greenpoint.
Which one?
Mobile Greenpoint.
Mobile Greenpoint.
Brooklyn?
say it one more time for him. Say
Mobile Greenpoint in Brooklyn had a 43-acre or so, no, 52-acre spill
Really?
underground. It's 22 million gallons
Was that over time?
over time.
Oh,
yes.
over time. Wasn't like a.
Yeah, but still, it's...
So it took a long time for them to detect it? Is that what it was?
Well,
Well,
they didn't care, I guess, for a
they
long
didn't
time,
have to
right?
clean it up for a long time. You know, it was basically,
diabetic.
during the wars, World War I, World War II, oil was refined in Brooklyn. And, you know, if you had a pipeline break or, you know,
There was
a
no laws.
tank leaking, there's no laws. You know, they had sewers exploding all the time over there.
There's a plume actually that's under the old Grumman property in
Yep.
Bethpage that's heading south towards this area.
Yeah,
actually.
that's a.
An underground oil?
Now,
so
underground
you're
of
doing all
everything.
this-
Wait,
you-
I'm asking.
Oh,
I'm still asking the question. How do you deal with something like that? What's one of the
Well,
ways
that's
that
a tough one because that's a dense.
I'm in the middle of the
it's a dense non-aqueous phase liquid plume. So it's solvents, chlorinated solvents that sink in water. They don't float in water.
Okay.
So to try to track
Like
those
Pat
guys
Marone.
down,
Yeah.
How do they
they drill a lot of wells, trying to figure
are they
it
going
out.
to be able to stop it?
They're going to have to do something. They're probably going to have to try pumping, treating, or air sparging, or you know, maybe even putting down slurry walls to try to contain it.
Mike,
Now,
I don't know if
did
you
you have a question?
But
Yes,
hold on
I
one
did
second.
wanna ask him a
Hold
question,
on one
but that's
second.
okay.
There was a
You have a
beauty. Just to
question?
repeat
Yeah, I
it,
do have a
they
question.
sink in water, and Steve said like Pat Marone.
I didn't say that.
It was a
I
beautiful
didn't say
punch
that.
that
He's a
lost.
muscular guy.
That's
I think
why.
everybody caught it.
He's
I
a
don't
big
know.
muscular
It was a
guy.
good punch.
I don't
I
think
liked
so.
it.
And no,
But you don't have
I
to.
don't like to make fun of
He's
people,
really
but I haven't
good.
seen that much oil
don't
since
like
Pat.
it.
I haven't seen that much oil since Pat wrung out his hairbrush.
You
Now
tell
listen-
more
now
jokes
listen-
per show than anyone
listen,
else on the show.
You know what the shame of it
That's all I
is?
try to do.
You know what the shame of it is? John doesn't realize there's not an audience and we can't hear him clapping. That punch sank in good if you're
But
paying
you're a
attention.
muscular
to
big
He
guy.
had to keep, no, but I'm saying
I'm sorry,
he has
Pat.
to keep repeating it.
I just don't
No,
want
that's
to be
not
lost.
right. It was
All
a
right, so
good one.
let's
I
get-
give
let's
it a
get
good.
through
Can I
the-
answer my question?
I want to spend a little time on the
No, I want
World
to answer
Trade
my
Center
question.
stuff. But go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
before that, it's interesting for the audience to know. Like you had such an interesting, you know, you did a lot of different jobs. Did you always want to be a fireman?
No.
So
Me
what?
neither.
What
Me
made,
neither.
what drove you to being a fireman?
Well, I had two brothers that were firemen,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
and I'd be going off to work, and it'd be like Thursday, and they're going to play volleyball. They're going to go play softball. You know? I was like, they're going to go play basketball. I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong?
So no matter
And
what, you
your
guys don't
neighbors
work.
too, right? The neighbors are always like, "Don't you guys work?"
Yeah.
You know.
So I said, you know, if you can't beat them, join them.
All right.
Wow.
And you could still you
And
have
these
that
people
knowledge.
are saving our
Are
lives.
you using
folks.
that knowledge still? Are you teaching it all or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
No, you're just enjoying.
That's by choice, though.
That's
right?
my choice.
Yeah.
I just went
Yeah.
to learn
Isn't it
CPR, and they signed me
ironic
up
that
for
John
everything.
became a teacher after
EMT,
firing,
everything.
and then you were
John was a
teacher
good
before?
teacher. John's a good teacher.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At least somebody
Thank you, Mike.
appreciates him.
Somebody
Yes.
appreciates me. All right. So now let's talk about your World Trade Center experience. You're one of the brothers who got ill from 9/11.
Yeah, I had I got diagnosed in 2011 with a rare and aggressive form of cancer. I had a stage 3 colon cancer that had a very low survivability, and I think I beat it. If I get a clean CAT scan next month, I think I'm good.
Well, we're all praying for you, buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
We're all praying for you. It was 2011. So the World Trade Center program, can you explain that to our viewers, how that worked for you?
Well, with the World Trade Center program, I got diagnosed in 2011, and I started my treatment in 2011. By 2012, under the Zadroga Act, the James Zadroga Act, another fella on the NYPD who died of cancer,
Correct.
there was a huge push through, all first responders, the Feel Good Foundation,
John Stewart.
you know, John Stewart,
Right.
you know, had a lot of people helping us out. We got cancers certified as illnesses that happened through the 9/11.
So basically, if you get the form of cancers that's listed in the bill, automatically they assign it to the World Trade Center and everything's covered, your treatment and all
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of presumptive, yes.
Right, presumptive is the
your
word, thank you.
I mean, you know, you're talking a chemotherapy treatment. One chemotherapy treatment was over $21,000.
Wow.
You know, and you know, you do
Wow.
12 of them, it adds
Right.
up. You know.
But it's a disgrace that they had to fight for those benefits. Those benefits should have been paid. They shouldn't have had to beg for them. That was
Well,
a disgrace.
And it's said that Zadroga is expiring in 2020.
Is it really?
And, yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
there's
that.
still guys that are getting diagnosed like crazy.
Are they going to extend it? Is there a push
Well,
to
there's a
extend
push to extend it, you know, but you know, I don't know what's going on with the, you know, in Washington these days. You know, the Feel Good Foundation is pushing.
They just went
Fire
down
Department-
last week. Was it last week
Yep.
they went back down?
You know,
I just seen something was passed for the volunteers on Long Island, volunteer fire
Yes.
departments. It was a
Something
cancer thing too.
similar to that, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, if you think about it, if you're a volunteer firefighter, you know, you want to be protected, right? I mean, if you're going to go in and do this kind of work and you're going to get cancer from it and you don't have protection, who's going to go in and fight those fires?
Right.
And
You know what? 9/11.
But you know what?
This has been going on for years before 9/11. It never.
And here's the
disgrace.
thing, Mike. You say there are people out there that they want to volunteer, they want to help, and they've been doing this for years and years. The volunteers, he was a volunteer, and the paid guys,
And he
it's
got
in
fired
their
from
blood.
it.
So there will be people, I would think, no matter what, that are going to do this. Let's take care of them. You know, let's take care of them. Especially in Long Island, we got our homes, our families. I've had firemen in my living room when I had my first vertigo attack. I thought I was dying. I never had a vertigo attack, so I didn't know what was going on. And I had people respond to my house within minutes.
Yeah.
And they were
Let me ask you a
volunteers.
question. If you're a firefighter in D.C., right, and the congressional office buildings are on fire, you're not gonna. No one's running in to save congressmen.
I was just, what was I just?
We can always re-elect new ones. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, there was
It's
just something.
easy. You have a
Oh, I know
special
what it
election.
is. This is something.
The fires out myself.
Right.
Well, why would they make a bill go in
Fuck
and
'em.
do it
Put
expire?
it
In
on
2000? Why would they make it expire? Like, that's what I don't get. I mean, I'm sure there's people that were young.
It's all money.
That was
Well, it's a
9/11.
budget thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
know.
they're saying that all the cancers that they should have seen, they should see by 2020.
How do they know
And then
that? This
you
is
know,
never-
but
this
they
is
don't know that.
No.
I know a guy who just who injured his shoulder. A young kid on the fire department injured his shoulder. He goes in, you know, gets an X-ray for his shoulder surgery. Right? They tell him he has lung cancer. It's like holy
Are these
cow.
the same experts that told us the air was safe?
No, that
when
was-
you guys were down there.
that was
Those,
Christy
are
Todd
these the same
Whitman.
idiots that told us the air was safe?
That was
those people.
That was what, Department of Environmental Protection.
No, that was
the
Christy
EPA.
Todd Whitman.
EPA, I'm
EPA,
sorry.
those same experts are the ones
EPA.
that.
There was a lot of volunteers down there that weren't firemen or police
Yes.
officers
Yep.
that came down there.
Especially the first few days.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a lot of people that.
Yeah. So now you are saying, so what did you do on 9/11?
What did I do
Where
on
were you
9/11?
assigned on 9/11?
I was in 26 truck in Harlem. That's where I was assigned.
Hold on
And-
1 second, Mike. Who's on the line? Laughter Saves Lives Live. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Laughter Saves Lives Live.
Well, whatever it is, we'll get back.
Hi,
to it.
Laughter Saves Lives Live. It's your favorite.
Oh,
listener.
Muriel, you can hold.
Muriel,
Yeah, please.
Muriel, can you do me a favor and just hold for a
Just
few
hold
minutes?
or hang up, either one.
Thank you.
Oh, I can't hold. What do you think this is?
Well, unfortunately,
we
got somebody a lot more.
We're in the middle of a discussion with a guest. If either call back
Go
in
take
10
cyanide
minutes,
and call us back.
call back in 10 minutes or hold on. Thank
Okay, John Santo. I can't wait for it.
Thank you, Muriel. So you were in 26.
I was in 26 truck.
Right.
Yes, I was living in Rockaway Beach at the time, and you know where I grew up. And I was just about to go out surfing that day. Beautiful waves, beautiful September day, and yeah, I grabbed my surfboard. I was walking out the door. My wife goes, "Oh my God, a plane just hit the Twin Towers." So I turned around, walked back into the house, and I was like, "Oh," saw it on TV, and I was like, "Oh, I got to go to work," you know. So I got
Did you respond when the first plane hit, or was it when the second plane hit?
I started responding when the first plane hit. I went to 331, 173 in Howard Beach. I stopped in there to see what was going on, and they,
Not your firehouse.
no,
right?
not my
No, I
firehouse.
did the same.
It was
That's
on-
close to
in Route.
Rockaway, that one, not far.
Yeah. So I stopped in there, and that's where I met up with Mike. Oh gosh, what's his last name?
It'll come to you.
It'll come to me. But another guy from Rockaway, Mike, his brother ended up dying at the Trade Center. And Mike and I jumped in my Saturn, SL2, 92 Saturn.
Nice.
And we started driving into Manhattan because he was in, I think, 2 or 3 truck.
I don't know. Do you remember? Like I remember when I was driving in, it seemed like it was only cops and firemen on the road.
It was. Well,
There
you know,
was,
I
and
mean,
they closed the highway down.
Well, I
Yeah.
know, but look at all the stickers and stuff. Even when it was all cops and firemen. You know.
well, we
going
couldn't
in.
get into Manhattan
Hospitality,
for a while.
anything,
So
hospital workers
what
done.
I ended up doing is I stopped at the shops in
Long Island
Best-
City.
Long Island City, yeah. And I go in there and I'm like, Mike and I go in there and the guys are sitting there watching, on television what's going on. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? We got to get all the spares out and we got to get equipment on the road. I said that, you know, and at that time you could actually see the first tower fall from over there.
You told them this?
Yeah, I told them that.
Oh, so you kind of told them, hey, let's get moving
That's
here.
good.
So
That was a good move.
you
That was a good
volunteered
move.
yourself going in there. You didn't even get called. You just went right in.
Yeah.
They all come, well, everybody raced in there. People,
Yeah.
Everybody was a lot.
I mean, that eventually they had, Pat, what's called a recall, right?
Yeah.
That
First
where-
recall in the history of the
where
fire
every
department.
fireman off duty.
Yeah, first
Okay.
recall in the history
Now,
of the fire
how many
department.
New York City firemen are there, and how many would be on duty at any
It
one
would have probably been
particular
like 8,000 total, right?
It was
8,
12,000, about 8,000 on duty. Yeah.
8,000.
Is it 12,000?
Yeah, it was about 12,000 back
That many?
then, I
So
think,
another
yeah.
4,000. They try to get.
No,
it.
no.
No.
On duty at one time,
Yeah.
you don't have 8,000 at one time.
No,
on
I
duty.
think 12,000, 8,000 available. Like for
Right. There's
you
probably
know.
like, what, 2,500 on
Yeah.
duty?
Oh,
maybe?
so you're talking about a huge influx of additional resources.
I didn't respond it until I was like watching the TV and I didn't realize how big the plane was that hit the building. I thought it was like somebody had a
Right.
heart attack, a small plane. So I'm watching it, and then when the second plane hit, and what's funny is the announcer wasn't watching the screen. So when the second plane hit, he turned and he went, "Oh, there was an explosion in the second building." I'm like, "No, a plane hit the second building,"
Right.
and that's when I responded.
So you were watching it like you were watching a neighbor's house burn down in front, you know, at that time when you were
very
watching
similar.
it. I'm saying.
Well,
Thanks
so
for bringing
anyhow,
it up.
so we
Thank
got,
you, Captain Inappropriate.
Thanks for bringing that up again.
so we got, you know, so we went over to Page Avenue, which is the fire department spares shop, and we basically started putting, bringing rigs back over to the shops,
Right.
and they had a tool room there. We basically opened up the tool room and started loading rigs up, and as we were loading rigs up, other firemen showed up, and we just got
you were
them.
getting-
I wouldn't
Exactly
even.
that.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't even thought of going
Wow,
there. That
that's
was
interesting.
I
Well, he was a
I
school
went-
teacher.
Actually, the rig that was down there the longest pumping water was one of the first rigs that we.
That's called
Oh, wow.
we call that a
set up.
heads up move. in the
Yeah,
fire
heads up
department.
move without
Yeah.
a doubt.
That's
Good
why
move.
he became captain.
All right.
Now
I
you
failed
now
by.
you had a vehicle to get into.
I failed the
Right.
lieutenant's
Because
desk
they
by
couldn't-
4
they couldn't
points, if
identify
that
you with
means
your
anything.
car.
Right.
So you just
Yeah.
left your car there and then took the rig.
Got to
into
bring
the
up
site.
that I failed the test
Smart.
again. Very nice.
So I had no gear, so I ended up I had to go to my firehouse to get gear anyhow. So when I went up to my firehouse, by that time the captain was Captain Charlie Roberto, who's unbelievable. He's
Yeah.
been there for
got a
over
lot of
20
time.
years.
Oh, you
He's
know?
a captain.
I know the
in
name.
26
yeah.
truck.
It's a well-regarded
Wow.
guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
super guy.
Yeah.
He's he was like, we can't send everybody down there at this point, and he basically saved a bunch of guys' lives by basically saying, no, you can't go down yet, So we had 58 engine down there, which was the engine we were in with, and they were caught with the 12th Battalion. Bobby Nagel and 3 chiefs from the 12th Battalion were caught in the Marriott after the first collapse, and when they evacuated everybody for the second collapse, they basically gave them a search line and said we'll be back, and never to be seen again.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, how long were you down there that day? You stayed.
I didn't get down there that day. I was down there the next 3 days,
Okay.
constantly.
Okay.
We're trying to find out guys.
And most of the people down there at that point had no respirators on. They weren't handed out until a few
No.
days later.
And they gave us dust masks.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what they want.
Now, an interesting with Mike is I think if I remember correctly, we lost a third of the hazmat unit. So you can't train a hazmat guy. You can't take a guy from an engine in a truck like most of the city could and replace that unit. So we needed to work a lot. We were working every other day for a while. And one of the first guys that came over to hazmat because of his background, I think was you. Weren't you the first guy?
I was the first guy, and it's a really eerie story on that one. Guy named Danny Sheridan was a lieutenant in 58 engine. He's a chief now, I think, somewhere.
I'm sorry, Mike. Hold on. Caller, can you hold on for 2 minutes? Caller. Go ahead, Mike.
So he basically when you come to the fire factory, Charlie's house, Charlie says, "What kind of special skills do you have?" So I said, "Oh, I do environmental cleanups. That's about it."
They must have loved that, right?
So Danny Sheridan took it upon himself to say, "Oh well, he'd be good for hazmat," right? So Danny calls hazmat and talks to Patty Waters, And,
Who was lost on 9/11?
and Pat,
So this is pre 9/11, obviously.
pre
Oh, I didn't know
9/11.
this. Okay.
and he says to Patty, you know, I got a guy who would be good in hazmat. So then a couple of days later, after, like, this is about 2 weeks before, sometime in August.
I didn't know that.
Danny comes and tells me, he goes, you know, Mike, I called hazmat and told him that you'd be interested. And I'm like,
Oh, thanks.
you think you should have talked to me first, you know?
Well, you know what? It's a shame because he's so bright and he has a back. Because most of us, I would say most of us, don't have the chemistry background or the, you know, we know how to use the meters and we know how to do our thing. But to have somebody like this in the company where you can turn, yes.
I made a baking soda volcano in the 6th grade.
Were you in a, did you?
Sorry, John.
Did you use the meters in your company?
This man is a professional geologist. You think he cares about your baking soda volcano?
You know the one if you pour the club soda,
Yes.
it bubbles over?
That's how I clean my toilet.
I'm
out.
trying to relate to, at least it's better than Pat. The only captains Pat knows run social clubs in Little Italy.
Did your officer say you'd be good
Nothing
for
wrong with
hazmat?
that.
Why does baking
They were
soda
brave
and
men,
vinegar
too.
clear a toilet?
Why does
Does it
baking
actually break
soda?
everything down? Why is that? What is the reaction?
Baking soda and vinegar.
I put baking
It's
soda.
acid and base.
It's an acid and base, so he's pouring it in his toilet.
Yeah, so you
Should
have
he be?
you have a reaction. You have an
Yes, it bubbled
exothermic
up.
reaction, and
And and within like overnight, it cleared out my toilet.
What made you think of doing that? You looked at-
Massapequa Moms. I went out to Massapequa Moms, and that's what they said to do.
See, this-
and
this-
it worked.
Thank you, John.
The Massapequa Moms.
How many
do everything.
Massapequa moms said to do that?
Well, they had an article from another source, like Good Housekeeping.
Well, what do you
whatever.
go on,
Is that
Massapequa Moms
recommended?
anyway? What's
To
the-
do
what's the
something
reason
like
for
that?
I don't
The
know.
Massapequa
I always
Mom-
use a plunger.
If,
Are you-
if,
He's
You're
overthinking
looking to
it.
hook
He's
up with
overthinking
another-
it.
no. If there's a helicopter flying overhead, the Massapequa
Yeah.
Moms know why within seconds.
Guys, if you need anything, go online, sign up for the Massapequa Moms.
They know everything.
The moms in Massapequa know it all.
So 3 Cobra helicopters.
Stevie might be able to
flew
get a
over my
date on
house,
there.
Right? Very loud Cobras. I filmed it. I said a flight of 2 Cobras just flew off my house. I don't know
Massapequa
why.
Mama Luke's.
10 minutes later, a Massapequa Mom said they're doing the flyover for the Giant game. I'm a football fan. I didn't even know that.
You don't even know that.
The Massapequa Moms are better than the Central Intelligence Agency.
Those
They know
moms,
everything.
those moms, the PTA moms. That's why I asked Diane to help me with the foundation. They're so
They
organized.
know everything.
They get things done. So let's get back to our guest, Mike.
Unlike yourself.
Where
Mike,
were
do
we?
you have any questions to ask Mike?
I had one before. I thought it was pretty interesting.
It was a good
You thought that was a
question.
good question?
Yeah. Thought it was
On a
intelligent.
scale
not
of 1 to
interesting.
10?
That was an intelligent question.
So now, Mike, you left you left the job. You said you're not doing any teaching, whatever.
Nah, you
What
know,
are you doing to keep busy? What are you doing?
I do lots of things.
Fun things?
Yeah, fun things. You
Well,
know?
and you have 3 kids.
Yeah, I have 3 kids.
Enjoy
I have,
them.
you know, and I think that you know, when I got sick, it was, you know, one of the things that kind of is in the back of your mind is can it come back? And if it
Right.
comes back, how do you want to live your life? I decided I wanted to live my life. I wanted to be around my family, you know, because if it comes back in 5 years or 10 years,
Right.
you know, I want that quality time with my
And
family.
you have the opportunity now. You left the job to do that. I know. I feel the same way sometimes. I'm running around the country. I'm teaching. I'm doing this and that. And I came to a point just the other day. I said, you know what? I'm not going away for 2 weeks in a row anymore. I want to be home with the baby. I got the grandson. You know, see my kids. I visit my daughter up in Binghamton. My son says too much.
And now his
But-
wife's depressed. Now that he's
My
gonna be
wife's
home.
depressed because I'm
You're
home
home
too
more.
much. I'm home too much.
But it is an old saying. It's a saying, in your family first, you know, and it's 100% true. And
Absolutely.
you know, we had jobs, fortunately, you know, that at this point in our lives, you know, you have that flexibility to be able to spend more time.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, I worked
so-
2 jobs for a long time, you
Yeah.
know, and it was, you know, and my kids are doing great. You know, one's in Hofstra in a physician assistant program, and
Very nice.
One's in Cornell, and one's still in high school. So,
Oh, wow.
it's, you know,
Wow.
they're doing
Just
good.
ask John's neighbors. They thought he had a lot of free time when he was a fireman too. So.
You know, I tell you, when they were younger, though, your kids must have the best science experiments, better than anyone else.
We had some good ones.
You have some good ones?
They probably didn't have the volcano.
What,
You
what
probably had
grades
this
did,
intricate
what
post.
grades did you get, Mike? What grades did you get? Wait. What do you-
Pat was making the.
did you ever say,
still
we should
doing
have got a
good ones."
higher grade on this?
Pat was making the Lego Hess truck, or the Lego truck, and you were making some sort of.
Oh, they were doing
A bomb?
cryogenic stuff.
Cryogenic.
You were a geologist originally?
Yes.
Is that what so this is a cool.
Were you paying attention to the beginning of the show?
Yes. That's why I did the callback. I met
Very
Harrison
good.
Schmidt, who was the only geologist to go to the moon, Apollo 17. And he was telling me all these things about the rocks. Like, he wasn't looking back at the Earth. He was just looking down at the rocks.
That's what I would do.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
So Gene Cernan said to him, you got to do yourself a favor, Jack, and take a look at the Earth, because the Earth was coming up over the lunar horizon. He goes, you see one Earth, you see them all. And he's just looking at the rocks. So it was
Very good.
amazing. Like Gene
Well, the
was
Russians,
looking at
the Russians were trying to say that never happened, right?
That's what they say.
The moon landing?
Yeah.
So I asked.
They're still saying that.
Charlie Duke. I said, Charlie, what do you tell people when they say, we faked the moon landing? He said, I don't know where they sent those other guys, but I went to the moon.
Bobby, do we have any of the pictures we haven't shown yet? And can we show MCM duck cleaning up there too?
You know who also
Before
went
we-
to the moon? The people that go to your shows, baby. They're over the moon. Baby.
Over the
Over
moon,
the moon.
baby.
What do we got? We got
Over the
Matt from
moon,
MCN.
unbelievable.
We're supposed to be shooting our first commercial, the
I'll
Laughter
do the
Saves
commercial.
Lives players, for MCM duck cleaning this Saturday.
Huge commercial.
Established in 2003, MCM duck cleaning. Let me read it once.
How are you doing?
Is the end result of years of research, continuing education, and determination. With a background in HVAC systems and working in an HVAC company for over 13 years, Matty realized the need to provide a better, cleaner, and safer environment, not only for his own family, but families in his community. MCM is now expanded to both Nassau, Suffolk, and provides service for both residential and commercial properties. He's a good guy, good supporter of the Green Lawn Fire Department and Laughter Saves Lives. The goal is to be #1 source of HVAC cleaning and provide high quality service, not only the first time, but every time. 631-885-5736, MCM Duck Cleaning. Give our friend Matt a call. I think Patty may call him for the,
Oh, just
Am I allowed to say that?
That
Yeah.
wasn't bad.
he may call him.
I already, did
call
call,
the
I
Laughter-
already did call him.
Laughter
just
Saves
didn't answer
Lives
his
Live.
on the phone.
Just didn't answer his phone.
Oh my gosh, how long does someone have to wait? This is ridiculous.
Hello, Muriel. How are you?
Muriel, how are you? You look terrific.
You got 2
How
minutes.
is
Go. Let
everybody
Muriel
doing
talk.
today?
Go.
John, I think you should be nicer to the guests.
Yeah. Go ahead, Muriel.
How is it? How is everyone?
We had a great show.
Very
We
well.
had a 9/11 hero on here. My buddy Mike used to work with him. Captain Mulqueen.
Let's give an applause to that gentleman then.
What do you got for us?
But, well, I just wanted to say hello. First of all, I for a second thought that there was a professional athlete sitting next to you. But then I realized, it was John Santo, and nobody's that big in a professional sports uniform,
Yes.
He said he's going to play second base, Muriel.
Well, listen, I just wanted to say I missed all you guys. I haven't been able to be on the show in a while, but you have to understand I was away. I was part of President Trump's negotiating team
Oh, good.
over the shutdown. And the reason I wanted to call you guys is because we actually had a nickname for the shutdown, on President Trump's team. We called it the John Santo. Did you know that?
Why?
I didn't know that, Muriel.
Why?
Well, because it's pretty much because it was pointless. Nobody liked it, and it literally caused people to not be able to eat. You know what I mean? Like this.
You're so funny, Muriel. I love your act.
Give us one more, Muriel. One more. We're on the hour here.
Steve Oliva, how you doing there, handsome?
Muriel,
she's
it
going
is
up.
always a joyous
I
occasion
have
when you
gotta
call.
find out
I was
who
thinking
this
one
is.
day I'm going to take you out to dinner, and I'll have you back. You'll be asleep by 4:30.
In the morning.
Perfect. You just planned my perfect night. Oh boy. All right, listen, guys. I just wanted to call and say hi. You had a great show, and John Santo, you look like if a professional meatball was on the Mets. Okay. All right. I love you guys.
Thank you, Muriel.
Thank you, Muriel.
Meatballs.
So our next big show. What do we got? What's our next big show? Is it the Monmouth County EMS? What's coming? Oh no, 222. Treehouse.
Treehouse.
The Treehouse. Laughter Saves Lives on tour. Cops, firemen, military comics. It's our new product. We're going to try to add some nurses and EMS to the show.
Then you've got Monmouth County.
Monmouth County.
We got the big show at Gotham.
big show at Gotham in March. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. So thank you for tuning in. We want to thank our guest, Captain Mulqueen.
Oh,
Thank
thanks
you
for
for your
having
Thank
me.
you, Captain.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Captain. Thank you,
service.
Captain.
It was a pleasure working with him. And also our Hollywood, what do you want to call her? Hollywood reporter? Hollywood star?
Hollywood reporter.
Mary Kennedy.
Leather gloves,
water.
slapping
Hollywood,
hands,
the Hollywood.
popcorn and
We're
peanuts.
heading over to the Mass
We're
Piggy
working
Diner.
the
Good night,
stands.
everybody.
Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer. They circle the lips, play ball. Play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball. Play ball. Take off the caps. Time for the song.